Welcome with the scuffed intro to a retrospective. We'll cover more than just The Walking Dead, but The Walking Dead's the behemoth you have to address.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. We're starting with the big one.
We're starting with the big boy. It may be far off years in the future if this is successful or continues. We can go to different shows like Z Nation, which is far more fun and full of itself, or less full of itself. But this is a I guess a guerrilla review. We're in the scene. We're deep in the guts of this.
We really did go through as much as we could.
Yeah.
In the time frame we gave ourselves.
I'm not going to get too historical about it, but The Walking Dead, obviously a comic from 2003, a series from 2010. Big.
And you've read the comics, right?
I've read a good bit of them. My dad loved the comics, so we had like the big compendiums, you know. And I've read a good bit of them. I read enough of them to know I know this is like the most like nerdy opinion. I like them better, but not by much.
I think I've read the first one, but I might have also stopped reading it.
It has very different things. Big comic book spoilers. If you don't want the spoilers, sorry. It ends completely differently.
I did know that.
How different is it? You know that little girl who died in the farm in season 2?
Yeah.
Not only is she alive, her and Carl are like a married couple at the end of it.
I think the show does a couple of the characters kind of dirty at the end.
Oh,
So we'll see when we get there for them, I suppose.
I will say, we'll get to it in the episode, but that death of that little girl was pure shock value just to get the viewer's attention. I don't think it had any thought behind it of like, well, this will get them, won't it? But yeah, I guess there's no place to go but starting.
Yeah, I don't exactly know how you want to start this.
Well, the show starts on an odd shot. Here's the thing. I'm not against it. It's good filmography, photography, whatever. But, like, it starts on just Rick driving down a road.
Yeah, which I actually do find myself kind of liking that starting scene.
Yeah. Oh, it's a great tension builder. It's a great, character builder. Here's the thing. If I was going to be a shitty YouTuber, I'd do a nitpick of, like, you didn't notice the no gas sign, but it's obvious he was looking around like, oh, crap, things are messed up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think you have it in your notes here. There's a very good characterization for Rick to immediately, the first words being spoken being little girl in worry.
Yeah, so I think it does a pretty good job of setting Rick's character within this dystopian society that he's woken up in, because there's nobody else there, which obviously sets us as the audience on edge, because there should be other people there. That makes sense to us. But it kind of alerts us that something has gone terribly, terribly wrong. And then Rick's first words being like, little girl, he's trying to get her attention. He's trying to be like a person of comfort in this world that we don't really know anything about just yet. And then the contrast to when she turns around.
Yeah. It is good. It is, if I have in my notes, it is kind of trying to hawk the Dawn of the Dead child reveal. It is very good at it, but it's not as effective as the Dawn of the Dead one, because that one came out of a bit of nowhere versus this one. This one has like the slow setup where if you know this is a zombie show, you knew where it was going immediately when you saw a little girl's feet.
Yeah.
But I think it's still solid nonetheless. And not much to say about this, but we both have it in our notes. Great intro sequence.
It's such a good intro. It's so iconic. It takes you back to like when you're actually watching the episodes if you ever hear it again.
Yeah.
Like, there's a reason that they never really made any updates to it, I think.
Yeah. I think they
never needed to.
Think, if I remember correctly, they did update the locations it showed in the intro, but never the song.
Yes. Yeah, every season the pictures will change. to sort of depict something more aligning with that season.
Yeah. Then our first post intro pre zombie shot is Shane's worldview.
I didn't realize that. I guess I kind of skipped over your little note on that. But yeah, we really kind of just made a comment on the exact same thing.
Yeah. So this could be. I'm going to give this 2 reads. My generous read is it's a very good look at how Shane's narrow worldview, is so easily acceptable to Rick, which will be important later. But my less generous reading is with how what I remember of how they wrote most of the female cast. I feel like more of the authors are bleeding in than they'd like to admit. Not fully. I'm not going to fully be like, these misogynist, but I do think there's some things they're better at and some things they're worse at, and writing women they are definitely worse at.
Yeah, I kind of agree with you there. I see it as more of a combination of both of those, because I think it kind of lines up with Shane's worldview, kind of matches with what the authors think.
Yeah.
Instead of them trying to set Shane apart as a character who thinks like that, I think they're letting their worldview influence the character that is already thinking the same things as them.
Yeah. Also, you point out something I didn't even notice, which is the foreshadowing that the crows eating a dead animal? Roadkill?
Yeah, the crows are eating, like... They're sitting in the car, they're having this conversation at a gas station. I think it's a gas station, like restaurant gas station mix. Yeah. And then they get their... I don't even know what it's called. Their police radio goes off, and they all get called to this thing, the car chase that it is. And as they're going, they're driving past, there's like 2 crows on the road that are eating roadkill.
Yeah, it's very good.
And yeah, it's just like an additional thing of knowing that this is zombie media. You kind of know that seems to be almost foreshadowing, with crows always being like an omen, sort of.
Also, just a great visual of animals eating another downed animal. Solid.
Oh, I forgot. This is later, but I did forget to make a comment at the very end. But that's okay. I just remember that I meant to.
Now, before we get into important stuff, one of the cops makes a statement like they want to be on a cop show, and that just got me thinking of, like, it wouldn't last long. I don't think a movie could be made out of it, but, like, an anthology horror show where it's just a parody of the show Cops, but the zombie outbreak happened while it would be good. That would be solid.
Actually, you might be onto something right there.
That would be solid. But yeah, then, you know, they lay down spikes. There's that really just solid rollout shot they got. Really good.
I know. I made a comment where it's like a terrible pit maneuver attempt, but I do love the dramatic flipping of the car.
But yeah.
Like, I remember I see, like, the cop car, like, nudges the back of the car he's chasing, and I was like, that's not how you do a pit maneuver.
That's really not. But yeah, no, and then even though there's a normal amount of people in there, I love the clown car of criminals. Yeah. Because, like, also, the tonal difference, we're going to be referencing notes a lot in this, but the tonal difference of you going, Rick down, versus me going, hell yeah, officer down, affectionate, rip to a real one, that guy got him.
Rip to a real one.
And then the second time when he shot, he was like, Rick down for real this time, and I'm like, never mind, hell yeah, pig down too, the squeakquel.
I liked your comment, but I did need to go in a different direction.
I know, it's fair. You need that contrast, because, like, I here's the thing. Rick, in 2010, Rick felt like a very everyman of, oh, this would be terrible. With the current world we live in 2025, I'm not predisposed to assume Rick is a good person like I was in 2010.
Yeah. You know what? That's a good point. I've seen a lot of the show, so I like Rick as a character. But I also, like, every time it cuts to him doing anything related to his job, I'm like, this doesn't make me like him more, necessarily.
Yeah. Now, we both have very different takes on this. I wanted to note, but I was going too fast, but you noted that the change between Shane holding the flowers and Rick waking up way later is interesting.
Yeah. It goes to show sort of like the distortion of time that Rick is feeling in the moment. Oh no, you go. I was being rude. Well, I also wonder, like, because I don't actually know the timeline. I don't know if you know the timeline. Do you know how long after Shane leaves that Rick is supposed to wake up?
No, they probably say it. They probably said it and I forgot. I always pictured, like, 2 months, 3 months, somewhere around there.
Yeah, so one thing that I noted is that the flowers in his room that Shane leaves are not that old.
Yeah, they aren't. I think they took some creative liberties there because, like...
I think they did too.
Yeah, because, like, if it were 3 months, those flowers would be rotted and no color would be left. These are kind of like flowers that have been dead for a week, you know?
Yeah, it looks like it's been about a week, maybe 2 if they were, like, super new.
Also,
but it's the fact that the stems are green that kind of throws me off a little bit. And honestly, it's only because I was looking for things to note.
Yeah,
but...
it's not a... We're not getting CinemaSins nitpicky here. It's just it's still a solid visual of time passing. The clock not working is fun, even though I think clock batteries last longer. But it's a fun little thing of, oh, whoa, that's messed up.
Yeah.
I will say my note, to jump back a little bit, I get what they were going for, but the distortion effect of when he's giving him the flowers, a bit too much.
Oh, gosh, I was going to make a comment on that too, but I was like, if you have nothing nice to say, don't say it.
I get that they're going for distorting, but this effect is way too much. It's just... It's overdone, but that's all.
I also really do not need Shane looking me in the eyes like that multiple times in an episode.
No. Yeah.
I don't like it.
My notes, here starts one of the best first day Z-Day depictions ever. No snark.
I have to agree with you there, yeah.
Also, like, again, if I wanted to be nitpicky, I'd be like, you couldn't walk after, you'd be so emaciated. I don't care. It's fun. It's a fun concept, waking up from a coma and being in hell, you know?
Yeah. You're not watching The Walking Dead for realism, let's be honest.
No. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, I really do love his acting, though, when he first tries to get out of the bed. He looks so in pain and uncomfortable. I'm like, you are selling this right now.
You're emaciated. You've been starved for at least a month. You've been starved for a good long while. Your IV drip ran out. And the first time you try to stand, you just fall on your side, a needle still in your arm, and no one's coming for you. Yeah, it's going to be horrible.
It's awful. It definitely sets the audience into a place where we can understand that whatever we knew had gone wrong at the opening sequence, it has gone wrong now as well. We are there. Also,
I would love to say, the corpse he sees, what I love about this setup is it's not a... How do I say this? They don't throw him into it. It's ramped up slowly. So, no one's here. Something's obviously wrong. I love the detail. The bed blocking his... If I remember, in the next episode, we're going to learn that Shane did that. But the bed blocking his door...
Yeah, Shane puts the bed in front of the door to give Rick the best chance of survival, but he doesn't actually think that it's going to help.
It did. But...
It did, actually.
But... Seeing the corpse from the windows where he can't get in, from the doors he can't get in, a great way to immediately be like, oh, things are wrong, but not give him the whole plot, you know?
It's a good way to establish to Rick that he's in a situation that he has to be cautious in, even if he doesn't understand what's happening.
Also, from a writer's perspective, it avoids... If you have a character come out of a coma during the zombie apocalypse, and they see a zombie, they're not going to know it's a zombie. So they're immediately going to be like, oh, sir, you... Yeah. This cuts that out because they're showing Rick just enough over time and then stopping him from seeing one that it makes sense where he knows when he knows. That is a brilliant piece of writing that I'm not even going to insult, not going to be stark. It's good.
I think it also kind of establishes to the audience that whatever has happened, it didn't happen recently because the hospital is empty other than this one dead body. So it goes back to it's jarring to wake up in the middle of a zombie apocalypse, let alone after everything has already gone down and you're living in the aftermath.
Yeah, and then, I mean, what's to say about the iconic "Don't Dead Open Inside"?
Don't Dead Open Inside. I love it so much. I actually, when I first saw this scene years ago, I did read it, Don't Dead Open Inside.
Everyone did. I think I can't snark at it too much, because if I was part of the military or part of a hospital staff and zombies were coming back to life and I needed to close a door and be like, don't open this, I don't think I'd take the time to think about the spacing of what I'm doing.
Yeah, no, I can give them that. It doesn't really matter. It's just such an iconic scene.
It's iconic and funny, but also, like, the scene's not funny. It's the Don't Dead Open Inside. The bullet holes in the wall leading to the door shackling and then fingers.
I love that sequence.
So good.
I completely forgot about it until, like, Rick is walking down that hallway and we see the setup. You can see the words on the door, but you can't read the whole thing because there's always something blocking it. And then we only see the full door when he's there looking at it. That one is cinematic, truly.
Yeah. Also, it makes you think what Rick might be thinking, because, like, at this point, he doesn't know, you know. So, when he says, don't open dead inside, and then, you know, emaciated fingers are coming out, he doesn't think, damn, those are monsters. He thinks they're locking people in here and starving them, you know, stuff like that, where it's like, oh, that's wild.
Yeah.
I know it's meant to build tension, and it does it well the first time, but upon second, third, you know, viewings, the stair scene, it's very good for the contrasting light from when he opens the door, but it feels like it's trying to get you tense, and that works the first time around, but it's one of the things that doesn't work the second time around. Like, the door scene worked all times. It's a very good tense scene. Mm-hmm. My one critique is the stair scene is a time filler mostly, but it's a short one, so it's fine.
Yeah, I personally, you could not pay me enough to go into that staircase.
Yeah.
I would never go into that staircase. It is so incredibly dark.
Then we have this great wide shot and follow where he's like walking past all these dead, you know, body bags.
Yeah, it puts into scale what the situation is, I think, for both Rick and the audience.
Yeah, it's really good. I do have the nitpick everyone has. I'm just going to mention this once in the first season, and then in later seasons I'll actually bitch about it, which is a lot of zombie universes, a lot of slow walker zombie universes, kind of do the military dirty in ways of they're overrun. Now, I'm no military fan, but at least Romero, the king of zombies, the original writer of Night of the Living Dead, the creator of the genre, explained, they're fine in their military bases. They just don't go into the city because there's nothing in there to get, you know. This one just goes, yeah, they're outnumbered. What, the U.S. military? The experts at shooting unarmed civilians couldn't shoot unarmed civilians?
I will give it this. I don't know the details later on, but from what I understand, not all of the military has fallen.
That would make sense. I would.
So I think it's more along the lines of we're seeing that the military tried to help and they gave up.
Yeah.
Here.
As is their Ken.
Yeah.
And then after that, we get I will say, very jarring. I don't know the sense of where everything is in this cut, because they cut from him at this, you know, gone hospital, big building, military checkpoint, to suburbs. Yeah,
I don't know how we got there, and we'll never learn.
I assume he walked a bit. It's just a quick cut. It was more jarring than I expected, but I can, you know. And this is where the final shoe drops. And having the first undead he encounters be half is good, because it's slow. It can't get him. It freaks him out, and he's out of there.
Yeah.
It's just very solid.
And right after that, I think we get the first mention to Carl.
Yeah.
Carl! And then he crashes out.
No, he has the classic, this has to be a dream, right? This can't be real.
Yeah.
Valid crash out. Valid.
Yeah, I wrote valid crash out. My biggest gripe at this point, I would say, is the fact that Rick is still walking around in a hospital gown. Like, my guy, you're in your house. Get your clothes.
I think he was preoccupied.
I mean, I get it, but he's walking around barefoot in that through the hospital to his house. Like, at least flip-flops, my guy.
The second zombie music is a nice touch, you said? Yes. It's both eerie and hopeful in a way that's very good. I love good...
Yeah, because the zombie is, like, out of focus. So both the audience and Rick are thinking this is a real person, sort of. Like, the audience is obviously more in the know than Rick is in this situation. But I think it just does a nice little juxtaposition of Rick being like, oh, there's another person. Maybe they can kind of help me. They might know what's going on. Whereas the audience is like, I don't think that's a person.
Yeah. But then we get set up to one of my favorite fake outs of you think, oh, that zombie's going to get him. Then it goes behind him and you think, oh, there's a zombie behind him. Oh, damn. And then there's a kid with a shovel who just gets his ass.
A child. Dwayne!
Yeah. It's a great fake out. It's solid. The Are You Bitten setup is good. It's real good.
Yeah. I really enjoy that.
Him waking up, getting explained that he got a gunshot. I love a character trait of Morgan. That's his name, right?
Yeah, Morgan. Morgan and his son, Dwayne.
It is constant throughout this episode. We'll touch on it a bit later. That he always threatens, don't think I won't kill you. But I think he won't. That's the problem. Is like, he wants to seem like he's very threatening. But he's like, I'll cut you with this knife. I'll shoot you. He doesn't shoot him when he doesn't answer his question. Then he's like, I'll cut you with this knife. Obviously he doesn't. And this comes back later with his wife.
Yeah. It's a Morgan's story, and I don't know when exactly we learn the full story of Morgan. I don't know. I think it's like way later on. And so there's a lot of like good callbacks way later on to whenever Morgan shows up to the very first episode,
so
I think.
He does show up again. All right. I felt I knew that.
Oh, you didn't know that?
I felt I knew that, but I think I stopped watching before that happened.
I stopped watching. Hold on. I can look this up.
We got research live on the pod.
I think I stopped watching in season 6.
I stopped watching season 3, I think, but I popped back in and out because my family and friends love The Walking Dead, so they just watch it, and I have general knowledge, but it could be completely valid that he returned and I just wasn't there for those episodes or didn't care to look at it.
Yeah, I have confirmed I stopped watching in season 6.
Wow.
So yeah, it's genuinely knowing season 6 is when it calls back to this, and it has one of my favorite callbacks, but I won't mention it until we get to that point. If I was
Morgan, I'd call his ass out for not fucking being on that radio like he said. I believe he dropped that real quick, didn't he?
Yeah, to be fair, I don't know if couldn't really have the radio after the car broke down, could he?
Yeah, but radios are pretty abundant in the apocalypse if, everyone's gone.
Yeah, but even later on in this episode, we see they turn on, like, the CV radio. So there are other radios turned on all the time.
Yeah.
And we never get the callback for Morgan, but yeah, there's definitely... there are some consequences to his actions in the first episode, and it's not a nice callback, but it is a callback.
I love this framing. You say a feeling of isolation, Rick in a house he knows no one knows there. That's good. I noticed for the first time, the camera framing is very good. It shows Morgan and his son in this like big open, what are those called? Doorway, but no door could fit there. The giant open.
The archway?
they're in an archway that's huge, and it's setting up Rick in a door frame, very small, very far away from them, in this one shot. I was like, that's a very good showing of isolation. But also, even before we learn about her, it's also interesting that in that shot, him and his son are at a table set for 4. And Rick is there.
Oh, I didn't notice
and
that.
And Rick is there. And just by that alone, in this shot, you're like, someone's missing. And then Rick sits at a seat, but not the seat that would fill out that shot. And I was like, that's a solid. And then all the scenes from there are from the perspective Rick was at, where he's eating there. Like, we're watching from a dead perspective, which is very... I'll admit, I might be in the sauce here and reading a bit too much into it. But if I am, it's good to read into. It was really good.
Yeah, it's one of those things where even if they did it unintentionally, they still set it up that way.
Yeah, it's very good. And then Rick gets to learn about what happened in the world. And I do like that one very unique situation. One of the best openings is like, oh, you were in a coma during the war? Oh, damn. But 2, I love how Morgan acknowledges, like, look, I know this sounds utterly insane if you haven't experienced it, but this is what's happening.
It's so interesting to me because, like, I can't imagine being in either of their situations. Like, Rick waking up from a coma, the world has ended. Like, not even ending, it has ended, essentially. And then Morgan finding this guy, and he's, like, telling him what's happened, and the guy's like, you're crazy, there's no way. And Morgan's like, God, I wish that we were just crazy at this point.
Yeah, no. Also, we learn some of my favorite things. I don't think The Walking Dead originated this, but I do like them being lured by sound. That's very good.
Yeah.
Also, I do think... if The Walking Dead didn't originate this, it did make it famous. Them being more active after dark is fun. I like that. Cool air and whatnot. It's solid. But what I really like, and we're not going to skip the car scene. A zombie bumps up on a car alarm. It's very startling, and it's going to attract more. And they have the mentality of, well, we can't do anything now. And this is when I guess we learned earlier, but, like, their mom, the kid's mom, and the dude's wife is out there as a zombie. And it's emotionally not great. But 2 things. 1, I noted this down. Dawn of the Dead has so much groundwork for zombies, because that movie introduced... I'm talking about the 1978 version. That movie introduced the concept of the dead remembering things they did in life. It's the reason the mall was being surrounded. It's not because... zombies could see them or whatever. It's because they remembered being advertised to. That's where you buy things. So all of them are going to the mall. The mother is coming back to the house she knew. It wasn't her house, but it was where her family was last. But
her family is there the last time she saw them. She knows she wants to go in there.
Yeah.
Or whether she remembers why she wants to go in there is up for debate, but she knows she wants to go in there.
We also see this, I didn't mention it, jumping all the way back to the beginning of the episode. The little girl zombie picked up her teddy bear. Something that...
oh, yeah.
Something that, like, it's a memory. She's like, I need this.
Yeah, and I didn't think about that, but I think I won't say one of my biggest issues, but one of the things that I wish The Walking Dead had done is, like, kept these... first season zombie designs later on, but I also think it's something along the lines of, like, over time, if this is kind of insinuating that they remember what they did when they were humans, I think it is also a nice touch to show that over time they forget these things because they haven't done them longer and longer.
I have thoughts on that that we will get to in future episodes. I think The Walking Dead is a coward for one thing. They make a straw man. It's very odd. I'll get to it. But I was going to say, another thing I really like that I have it in my notes, that a lot of zombie shows don't do, or they try to make it unique. Like, Zombieland tried to act like they were the first to have zombies use doorknobs, and I have to say to them, back in 1968, Night of the Living Dead, the first thing the zombies did was try the doorknob. And then they banged against. I love that they're like, no, these aren't fully idiots. They know how a doorknob works. They know how, It bothers me how much... I think my note is like, Also love that walkers use doorknobs. I didn't know where this series is going, my Romero-loving heart would be more endeared.
Yeah, it's... We've talked about our gripes with this show before deciding to do this, so I think we both know where we're going, but... I think her design as a zombie is genuinely one of the better ones for The Walking Dead.
Oh yeah, I love the lines where the skull outline is, like it's emaciated, solid.
Yeah.
I was about to say, listeners, if it's not clear, we're going to be very positive about this first season because the first season of The Walking Dead's very good.
It's so good.
But
arguably my favorite.
We both quit the show for a reason. So the more time goes on, the more stark it'll be. And I want to set this up now before anyone gets it twisted. My co-host here, Mary. I don't think we introduced our names.
I don't think we did either. I was thinking about that. I was like, we might have to do a little voiceover for the beginning with our names.
The first one can be scuffed. Mary, I'm going to go by Mug. But
I was like, I don't know if you're going to go by Mug, but yeah, Mary and Mug.
But yeah, no. Mary will be a bit kinder because she's fine with zombies. I am a Romero purist. I don't count runners. I don't count. So that is the difference. I'm a crouchety old bastard when it comes to zombies.
Yeah, and I'm just here. I'm here for the laughs. I'm here for the goofs. I like zombie media. I don't hold any particular opinions about types of zombies like Mug does. Maybe Mug can change my mind.
I need you to also. I think I can change your mind, but also you can fucking hold me back from doing stupid opinions and being like that shouldn't count. Oh, excuse me.
Luckily, this is still the first season.
Yeah. Then basically, they get out. Now this, in-universe, I get this. I'm not going to nitpick in-universe. Of course, Rick would think, I don't want that blood on me. I need to get
Yeah.
But one, it comes off immediately. I think this is the writers trying to be like, this would be stupid. We're not putting all of our guys in this. Which, cowards, but okay.
Yeah, it's... I feel like it's more of like a dramatic thing, whereas Rick thinks that this will work, but upon actually trying to do something, it's unsustainable, so he just kind of gives up with it. The splash guard.
But also, like, that's going to give me next episode. I was about to mention something, but that's next episode. I love the safe zone setup. It's a classic one. They have safe,
Yeah.
Every zombie thing, a safe zone is never going to work. A safe zone, writers won't let a safe zone work. Good zombie stories can do it, but Walking Dead is very much the ones where, it fell, it keeps falling.
Yeah, they never really managed to have like a full working safe zone. And I guess in the context of why zombies exist in that universe, it does make some semblance of sense. But at the same time, there's got to be at least one safe zone that wouldn't fail.
At some point.
Yeah, at some point you're the problem.
At some point, if you keep trying to make, a different safe zone and they keep falling, maybe look inwards.
Maybe do some self-reflection there.
Rick grabs...
But luckily, no safe zone has fallen yet.
Rick grabs his keys, and we're immediately hauled away to the police station. And my note, why so many keys? Wait, go back. You made a good question. Why so many keys? I just want to know. That is a wild amount of keys for a house.
There's 2 people living there. Why do they have 6 key rings and all of them have keys on them?
I'm trying to think, because, like, car keys, I get that. Work keys, I get that. House keys, that's 3. That's 3 keys. What are the other 3 for? Is there 2 cars? Do they have 2 cars? That could be a thing.
But even then, like, who wants to carry around multiple key rings? Like, I have all of my keys on one
even
ring.
More confusing, all of the key rings had 2 or more keys.
Yes. He just opened it, and I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, no, I never told you, but I recognized all the houses we're in because I broke into them summarily. What were you doing? Did you have a key to every neighbor's house?
He's a cop, so they just give him keys.
Yeah.
Like,
maybe he has a bunch of safes around the house. He's a cop. I don't know. I mentioned that when they go to the police station, that coffee has to be moldy. Like, they show, like, half-poured coffee and whatnot. I'm like, that can't be just clear. That has to be dog water. And then they Rick talks about how the police station has its own propane, storage, so they can have a hot shower. And if I had a hot shower after months was done, it'd make me religious.
Yeah, I can't imagine. I always like to think of myself as someone who, if the situation were good, I think I could survive the initial end of the world. But the hot shower, that might put me over the edge. I don't know if I can live that long without it. I guess I should say I don't know if I want to.
Yeah, no, Rick wants Morgan and what's the kid's name?
Dwayne. I misspelled it, but it's Dwayne.
Morgan and Dwayne.
Yeah, actually, up to this point, I think I only know their names because, like, it's mentioned later. I don't know if they ever actually introduced Morgan and Dwayne.
They introduced themselves, but Morgan says his name, and he does call his son Dwayne a couple of times. So I think it's implied that you'd pick that up. But they don't really introduce to Rick other than Morgan. Well, I just say this is my son Dwayne. Okay,
maybe they do that. Maybe I just wasn't paying attention because I already knew their names.
It was introduced in such a, like, world-building, lore-drop-heavy scene that it's easy to,
Yeah.
Turn on the radio every day at dawn, and I guess I answered this. You answered this because they do come back, but I don't remember. Did they ever follow up on this? I kind of memory hold a giant part of this whole show. Guess we'll find out eventually. And
do they ever follow up on this? Yeah, I'm gonna leave that one to surprise. If you don't know, I won't tell you.
Yeah, and then the dude who suggested they'd be on Cops is a zombie. Rest in piss. Never got to be on Cops. And then we have the ever so. Oh wait, before that, a very good duel scene of Rick going back to where he saw the first crawler and basically mercy killing him.
Yeah.
But Morgan, as I said, can never do anything. He's trying to lure walkers out to, like, where he is so his wife will be there so he can kill her. But he can't. He has the gun and everything.
He can't do it. Yeah, it's supposed to be like a catharsis for his character, but he ultimately can't do it.
Yeah.
Whereas Rick's kill is him kind of showing to himself, I guess, and I guess the audience, that he can move forward in this new world that he's found himself in. But he feels almost more sympathetic towards them than Morgan is, and obviously it's because he didn't go through the fall of society.
Yeah. Well, it's very clear. Rick is moving ever forward while Morgan cannot leave the past.
Yeah, Morgan is stuck.
Anywho, then we have the big, oh no, you just missed him radio thing of, damn, guys.
Yeah.
This is a 6-episode first season, so I'm not expecting them to do, like, stretch this out, but I wish, from what I remember, it's solved at the end of episode 2. I wish they would have stretched it out just a bit. That would have been interesting to me, but again, 6 episodes, no problem. And in the comic they did, so yeah, no, this is where we learn Shane is alive.
Yeah, we learn Shane is alive. We see the 2 people in the back. I don't know if it's obvious who they are at this point. I feel like it should be, but I don't know.
And due to my current obsession with wanting a camper and RV, I noted that God, the 1973 Winnebago chieftain, is such a beauty when I would give her an RV camper.
I was wondering what that was.
It's
That's the RV. That's Dale's RV. Oh my
it's a
gosh.
1973 Winnebago Chieftain. Not the best on the market, but it'll get you there. I've
Dale is kind of a goat. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, no. We go to an argument between Laurel and Shane, and they get in the tent and they're arguing. Well, mostly Shane's just yelling at her, not yelling, but talking.
Shane was getting on my nerves in this scene.
And then they kiss, and I wrote down exactly at 53 minutes and 15 seconds. I forgot how little I care about this plotline. I memory hold.
It's such an important plotline, though.
I know it's important. I memory hold it, and the second I was reminded, I'm like, oh, this is gonna be a whole damn thing. I forgot. This is gonna be a whole thing.
It is an actually important plotline, and it just cements. I guess it lines up to give parallels to Shane and Rick, to where we ultimately see them diverge, because they're both. Rick obviously being married to Lori, and Shane now being with Lori, because immediately after we have the reveal.
I think I could be proven wrong, and anyone listening to this, like, oh, you don't get it. I probably don't. But I think their morals should be the differential between them, like how they deal with situations. I don't think I need the comparison of this is how you fuck your wife, this is how I fuck your wife. That's not.
Well, I think that goes to show them more as being a similar person. So. Yeah. In my mind, them being with Lori is them at their most compatible or most similar, and then we see the divergence of their characters after that. Especially in the coming episodes.
And then this poor horse. This poor horse.
God, I feel so bad for the horse.
I'm not gonna hurt you, he says, like a liar. And when
he said like a liar, yeah.
And when I think mine was what a great not that I'm trying to find it. Oh yeah, when he's like, oh, there's a city, there's probably other horses. I said, you don't have to lie to the poor thing, because like, what a promise is that? Why would you? It can't understand you, and you're still lying to it.
I know. I like how we both pointed out lies, but they were not the same lies.
This, anywho, he gets on the horse. I like the fun little detail of it going real fast.
That's such a funny scene, and I actually don't know if it was intentional or not, and I meant to look it up.
Either way, it's great.
It's so good. Because it looks like Rick is just not, like, almost gonna fall off the horse.
I'm gonna read your note, and then I'm gonna read mine. Is another cliche shot I absolutely love. I agree with you there, which is the side of the road that's entering the city being empty, but the side of the road exiting being blocked up, which is if that type of emergency was going, both roads would be going that way. You kidding?
Yeah, that's why I was like, it's unrealistic, because in the event of an actual evacuation, which made me also wonder, is this an actual evacuation, or are people just trying to leave? But in an actual evacuation, they flip the roads around and both are used to leave.
Yeah. My note on that is that shot was goddamn everywhere in 2010. They used it for every commercial.
Yeah.
It watch AMC's The Walking Dead.
It's a good shot. I can't argue with that.
He goes through the city. It's a very long, very good shot. And then he comes across a good farmer's market worth of zombies.
Yeah, it's our first real introduction to what a horde is, though.
It is. And that poor horse, they tear it to sunder.
I feel so bad for the horse. I'll be honest, after the first time I watched this episode, and other than the time I watched this to make notes, every time this happens, I do not watch. I walk away, I look away, I'm like, I don't need to see this again and again. The horse deserved better.
Yeah, definitely.
It brings up my point that I wanted to mention earlier, and I don't know how you feel about this, but it does kind of get on my nerves that we never see zombie animals in this one, I think. We might get one seasons later, but I feel like there should be at least some zombie animals at this point.
Yeah. Well, I have mixed feelings on zombie animals.
I think they should exist. I think it just makes things better.
I'm of the belief that Bigger animals, I kind of agree, maybe, but when it's small animals, I love the explanation that it just gives them a fever and they die.
Well, I think it's more along the lines of like most diseases that people get, and in The Walking Dead, it's framed as a disease. They aren't usually stuck to one species, and I think it's proven in this that it's not just one species, so there should be zombie animals.
Yeah, if you're going for the diseased area, I get that. Not to wax about the future, but in between seasons, hopefully, this is the plan I have, if you're fine with it. And viewer, you're getting pitched this as well. In between seasons, we'll watch like 1 or 2 classic zombie movies that Mary hasn't seen.
Which are most?
I cannot wait to show you Return of the Living Dead. Return of the Living Dead started a lot of things that people associate with zombies that, like, you're like, oh, that's from this. It was the one that introduced the brains concept.
Oh,
and
interesting.
it was fully ripped off by Resident Evil. Like, it is a wild...
I do love me some Resident Evil.
It is a wild one. But also, fun fact, if you didn't know history of zombies, it never started out as an infection the way you know it. The first ever zombie in Night of the Living Dead, the first ever zombie virus, came from a meteor. A meteor hit and basically made the dead come back to life. I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah. Anyway, poor Horsey. Horsey gets killed. Horsey dead.
I think about this horse all the time.
They do this fantastic under the tank backslide type shot that's very good.
Yeah, I said that it lives with me rent free.
Yeah, it's such a good shot. Also, I love how seamless it was, how ready he was to kill himself, and then he didn't even look up. He was like, "Oh wait, never mind."
He's like, "Wait, there's a way out."
It was.
He's just like, "Sorry," and then he's like, "Oh wait, no, this isn't my only option."
Everyone's pointed this out. This was like a big thing back then, so I'm not going to make a big deal out of it. But if you fired a gun in a tank, you would be deaf. Not just...
It goes terrible.
Yeah, like, the show makes it seem like, oh, you just need some time. You're not hearing for at least a month.
Yeah, I wrote, I hope one day Rick will learn what a knife is.
And then we hear on the radio, we don't know.
My king!
We don't know yet, but Glenn.
I won't say anything about who it is, because we don't know who it is, but it's my king.
I'm going to say Glenn. I remember the best part of this goddamn show.
Glenn! I love Glenn so much.
And yeah, it's like, hey, you idiot. I'm like, he has been stupid. That's fair.
Idiot in the tank.
I will say, the beginning of this song was a neat tone changer. But the rest of this song ain't it. I don't know who chose this.
It took me... I think the song played for a good, 20 to 30 seconds before I was like, wait, what?
Yeah, no, the beginning of the song, the hopeful, oh, someone's here in a hopeless situation would work. Then the rest of the song happens, and you're like, well, I don't... Okay.
Yeah, I like cluing into, music cues and stuff like that, so I was really on board for the music up until the lyrics really sank in, and I was like, why did they choose this?
Yeah. And that's the end of the first episode of The Walking Dead.
Yeah, and we get that nice, backup aerial shot of the tank with all the zombies around it, and I think they used that one for a lot of promotional, too.
That's a very good shot. Yeah, the street thing, the fucking tank scene. There was another one, but I don't remember. But, yeah. Next episode.
Isn't the last zombie that they show up close before the zoom out the same one that he saw on the bus?
Oh, yeah.
I made note of that, but I don't know what it means.
Tommy Wiseau zombie, yes.
Yeah.
I was about to say, I remember after watching this being so stoked as an 11-year-old, going, hell yeah, this kicks ass. But yeah, no, it's such a solid opener. The only complaints that we had were so tiny they weren't even warranted.
Yeah, and to be honest, most of my complaints were about characters themselves and not the show itself, and so it just goes to show more of a distaste in that specific character.
Yeah. Also,
Cough, Shane, cough.
I think we are somewhat tainted by future knowledge. I think we'd be.
That's true. I don't think I ever really liked Shane,
Yeah.
but I don't like him more now that I've seen the show.
But yeah, no, it is wild where this show went, but it started so well. I can't take that away from it. As much as I love insulting The Walking Dead, and trust me, if more of this comes out, you will know how much I love insulting The Walking Dead. But you got to give
the first season was a strong
you gotta
one.
give credit where credit's due for a season of Walking Dead. Solid television. But yeah, next episode, if my memory is correct, we're going to do a cool strategy that we never use again.
Oh yeah, that's true. I think you're right.
A strategy that is.
I can't remember if it's next episode or the one after. But I think you're right. I think it's next episode.
It might be the one after. But a strategy so effective that the writers were like, "Wait, no, they forgot."
Yeah, well, isn't in the comic world there are other groups using that method, and I'll bring it up if we ever make it to a specific character. But
I have
that's my thoughts on it.
I have a fun idea that I'm going to say off mic for this show because I just thought of something that might be interesting. But anywho, this is going to be the end of whatever this is. We don't know the name. This is the weird thing about recording. You'll know the name before this version of us does. This recording of us doesn't know what it's going to be called, but you, listener, do know. So you'll know before us, but also we'll know before you. Isn't that fun?
Yeah. This is going to be probably our most scuffed episode. Maybe if we make another one more scuffed than this, that'll be funny.
Yeah, honestly, it's a challenge, but I'm up to it.
I'm interested to see where we go, how we change our methods after this episode.
Yeah.
I liked our notes, though, so we'll definitely keep making notes.
Yeah, the notes are very helpful. I don't think we would have gotten nearly as far as we have without the notes.
Definitely. Yeah, so obviously, I say anyone not seeing this, nobody but us can see this. We made timestamps for when we noted something down while watching the episodes, except we're using different things to watch it, so my timestamps count down and Mug's count up.
Yeah.
So it's a little difficult to keep track.
In the future, if this takes off in any capacity, I'll probably upload these somewhere. But yeah.
My RIP Military Part 2 Electric Boogaloo.
my officer down the squeakle. Our pig down too the squeakle.
I really like Officer Down Affectionate. That might be my favorite one.
But anywho. That has been whatever this is going to be called. Yeah, bye.
We'll think of that later. Bye.